We have technical difficulties coming. Okay, that's a stupid banner. Okay, hold on.
There's no music.
I know. It's all gone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Light Gate. This fine Monday night, we're coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. We are on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and we are on YouTube. It's an interesting night tonight because we're going to be doing a master class on psychic abilities and remote viewing. And it's kind of weird in here tonight. We're already having technical difficulties, so we're going to try to keep this going the best way we know how. I'm going to turn over to Preston real quick, and then we'll begin. Go ahead, Preston.
Yeah, minor technical difficulties. Our music and our background appear to be missing, but we have people working on it, so no worries. We're here and very excited to be here. Yeah. This is, I can't believe it already, episode 143 of The Light Gate. I am your host, Preston Dennett. My lovely co-host is Dolly Safran. We're very excited because we're doing something a little bit different. We have not done this before, but we've been talking about it, which is basically doing a sort of master class on astral projection, psychic development, remote viewing, this kind of thing. So we will be opening up for questions towards the second half. But right now, we really just want to talk about how you, all of you listening, can actually learn how to do astral projection, psychic development, precognition, all of it. And that's what we're going to dive into today. We're so excited. So this should be all kinds of fun. Before we get into that, let me just say a very quick hello to folks because I know we're going to run out of time. I just know it. So I will be very quick. I promise, Dolly. Okay. And also, but do not even start. We will be doing a book giveaway contest on the second half of the hour. So you can get a copy of my book, Out of Body Exploring, A Beginner's Approach. We're not starting it yet, so don't get too excited. That starts the second hour.
Yeah, I'm not going to be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So that'll be a good exercise for guessing the secret number. Not yet. It's for live viewers only as well. So we'll get to that for sure. But let's see who we have here. We have Barris Carbone from Australia getting in early. We have quite a crowd already, Dolly. We have Teresa Levine. We have Poetic Poems.
Hey.
The lovely Scarlet Fire.
Scarlet. Hi.
I absolutely love that name, Scarlet Fire. We know what that means, actually. We have Michael Kennedy. We have Little Dove. We have the wonderful, generous, lovely Namaste. We love you dearly. Thank you so much for your support. We have the Owlman saying Happy Monday. And Texas Cacti, happy 2026.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
It's going pretty well so far. Who else do we have? Louise.
Hi, Louise.
New Jersey. Texas Cacti. Thank you for the class this evening, Dolly and Preston. Multiple hearts. Very sweet of you. We have TC Morrison. We have Aurora Comedy Vids. Test on Monday. Boo. Yep, pop quiz. You'll have fun, I promise. We have Mia here. We have quite a few people. Bob Thorson, thank you so much.
Bob,
amazing. Absolutely sweet and wonderful guest,
Heidi Hansen. Thank you.
Really digging deep to support us. Thank you so much, Heidi. It means a lot. You are so amazing. We have M8370 in Flubber Lane in Aurora Comedy Vids. Do aliens celebrate Mardi Gras?
No. No.
But they might show up during it.
Just to watch. Okay.
We have Stargazer. We have Marla McMichael. We have quite a few people here. Brian Morgan, Orion Constellations, Patsy Foyster, Perennial Philosophy. Who else do we got? Becky Duncan. Hi. Been excited for this episode. Yes, us too. We've been meaning to do this for a while. Paranormal Mind, that's the perfect name for tonight's show. Who else do we got? Let's see. We got Medium Kim Copeland.
Oh, hi.
Nathaniel, love your out-of-body book. Yay. I'm doing a sequel, by the way. All right, I better get going. Yahira Volp. Astrid Guder. Yay.
Yeah.
Heidi Goal. I think I've already said
Hi,
hello.
Nicole. Hi, sweetie.
I haven't. Keith Reed. Wow.
Nope.
Nice big crowd, you guys. I am absolutely delighted to see you all. Jiminy Snicket, Cherise Bazilla, Nancy M, Joe. We got D Spark 22. I found your book in my library yesterday. So excited you and Dolly are presenting. Yes, this is going to be fun. So let's just get started. Here, let me put up the banner to show you who the guests are because it's us.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have fun, Dolly. You know that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I have a couple of things that I want to start with.
Well, before we do, let's just give us a brief introduction to who we are for people who might be new to the show because we do have a growing audience. My name is Preston Dennett, of course. I'm an author and researcher, got interested in UFOs very early on. At the same time, OBEs. Actually learned how to do them from Robert Monroe's book, Journeys Out of the Body, Far Journeys, and The Ultimate Journey, and got really good at it, if I may say so myself. Pat myself on the back, because it changed my life. I mean, it absolutely did. And that, in a nutshell, you know, I've written 32 books. I've written quite a bit about out-of-body experiences and interviewed a lot of people about it. So this is not something we're just speculating on. We've been there and done that. So that's me in a nutshell. How about you, Dolly?
I am a lifetime experiencer. I'm a generational experiencer. I have had absolute contact with ET on an ongoing basis my entire life. I have learned everything they had to teach me, including how to use my abilities, how to communicate with them telepathically. I have learned how to OBE. I was born OBEing. Literally, it started when I was small, before anybody or even me knew what I was doing. And I woke up one day when I was about 5 and I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I'm 67 going on 68 years old. So I've had my entire lifetime to hone my abilities and to understand how they work, why they work, and how to teach them as well. I am an onboard pilot for ET who are not here right now. They bugged out about 2.5 years ago, 3 going on now. We will see them again after our poles finish changing. They can't fly here now because our poles are changing and our electromagnetic grid is fluctuating wildly. We have a huge South American anomaly, which is a weird place to be electromagnetically. I can bring this up and make it in spades for your mind. If y'all saw all those sharks that landed in Florida and then died on the shore, that's one of the reasons. We have sharks navigate electromagnetically, and they just did an entire die-out of a whole bunch of different types of sharks coming in because they just didn't know what they were doing. That's it. Pretty much it. Yeah.
So how do we want to start this? Should we start by defining what it is, or how do you want
to... I would like to give a little talk for a second or two because we need to set the stage for your learning this. One of the things that I want you to do is turn off all distractions around you. If you're in a room with other noises going on, turn them off. If there's a TV playing behind you, turn it off. Take your phone and put it down. If you're on your phone watching this, well, then keep it on. But if you're on your computer, turn off your phone. Get it away from you. I want you all to understand that when you learn how to do these things, you have to be able to focus. So one of the things that I'm going to stress in this is that you turn down what you're thinking, overlapping what we're saying. We want you to be able to understand everything we say. This is a video, a live one now, but it does replay, and you can go back and check different points during our talk, our master class. So remember that also. If you didn't quite get something you wanted to see, go back and watch it again. Psychic ability is where we're going to start because you can't do anything else without honing in on your ability to use your psychic ability. It's that simple. One of the things that I want you to understand is how your psychic ability is actually operating, and this is really important for everybody to understand. You have consciousness. It is above your physical mind. It is who is indwelling this body. Your physical mind is just the computer that you're talking into to operate this body and function here. You should be in total 100% contact with your consciousness 24/7. Most people have been taught not to do that, and they're just roaming around in their own craniums without hearing and seeing things as they really are. So we're going to learn how to open the contact, open the bridge to who you really are. And first thing I want to explain to you is how this feels. I'm speaking to you, I'm wide open psychic, so I am only thinking in my higher consciousness. I've learned to teach my physical mind, what's in my brain, to shut up while I'm thinking, while I'm expressing stuff back and forth to myself, to my brain. And it takes a long time. I'm not kidding you. You don't walk in a day, you don't ride a bike in a day, and you don't learn to read and write in a day either. So remember that psychic connection takes some time, and you have to endeavor to work on it every day. If you have a notebook, get a notebook. Use a pencil or a pen. Pens run out of ink, so I prefer pencils, just saying. And you need to keep a journal of your experiences and how well you're doing. That's how you check up on your experience and abilities so that you can confirm or deny whether you're on or off communicating with your consciousness. So that's it in a nutshell. That's what we're going to attempt to teach you all how to do.
Yeah, and I would just like to underline that we are not our body. Robert Monroe talked a lot about this. We identify with our body. It's not who we truly are. We are an entity that is eternal. When you talk about astral projection, it's a little bit of a misnomer, because the truth is we're actually projecting down here into a body from our true home. And who we really are is our consciousness.
Okay, so step one is that we have to go through the physical walk down into relaxing our entire body. If any of you have ever studied transcendental meditation, this is a really good way to teach your body how to totally relax and let go and shut up. One of the things that our physical mind refuses to do is when the body is active and it's being stimulated, it won't shut up and calm down. So you have to go into a calm singularity of mental process where you just turn it all down. You let your mind become the blank board. You let everything, you open yourself up to connecting to your consciousness. This happens very rapidly once you learn how to do that. So step one, find a place where you're safe. Find a place where whatever position you're in is the most comfortable position you can achieve for yourself. If it means lay down, lay down. If it means sit up, sit up. Easy chair, pillows, no dogs, no animals, no noise, no toys, nothing. You need to relax and go through the process. The process in transcendental meditation is really simple. You start relaxing everything from the outside in. Your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists, your arms, your legs, your torso, your thoracic spine, your shoulders, your back, your neck, and then your face and everything you are. Once you get into that perfect, peaceful state of relaxation, total relaxation, I want you to realize that breathing is the most important thing you're going to be doing at this time. You need to start breathing purposefully while you begin this, because it helps to relax everything in your body as you breathe. You don't have to hyperventilate, but you need to breathe evenly and, within time of yourself.
Yeah, that is one of the ways people actually do relax, is by focusing on their breath.
That's
right.
I
just want to, again, sort of expand on what Dolly's saying, because this is the most important step. They're all important, let's face it. But relaxing is hard for some people. So what you want to do is relax to the point where when you're in bed and you're like, I wonder if my arm is out here or on my side, or you want to almost relax to the point where you don't know what position you're in. And you can tell when you're super relaxed, because you'll start to feel the sensation of it. You might feel movement. You might feel heaviness or lightness. You might feel various sensations like that, even a little bit of vertigo. Ultimately, you want to relax to the point where you start to feel what people call the vibratory state. Don't try to push for that. Right now, it's more about letting go. Try not, you go through your muscle groups, but at some point you have to stop thinking about the body, because that is putting your attention on the body, which is not what we really want to do here. So it's all about relaxation. Remember, people grind their teeth at night, they're clenching their fists. If you have trouble relaxing, try doing a little exercise before you go to bed. Try taking a nice long hot shower. You ever taken a hot tub where you get out and you're just so relaxed? That's the kind of relaxation you want to achieve. And generally, it does take 10 to 20 minutes for most people. Dolly's been teaching me on this because she has this ability to just let go. And that is really working for me. This process of just absolutely letting go. But relaxation is a very important step that I think this is where a lot of people get tripped up. So really work on that. Work is not the right word, is it? No, it's not work. It's fun.
A process. It's a process. It's like learning to walk. You endeavor to walk. We endeavor to stand up. We endeavor to movement physically. Well, your mind is the same thing. Your mind has to be given a chance to operate properly. I want you to think about the second step in this, and this one is critical, and not a lot of people talk about it. And I want to make sure that you all get this, because this is critical and important. When you get into the state of nothingness, the blank chalkboard, you're not thinking anything. You've shut down your physical mind from telling you the dog needs to be let out, the door's not locked, the TV isn't off, those kinds of things, okay? Or I did this last week and this person is mad at me. All that stuff has to go down and be gone. You have to walk away from it. Psychic ability has senses, just like we physically have senses. Every sense you've got, hearing, sight, taste, touch, and what's the other one? Whatever they are. Oh, smell, okay? All those senses are also psychic senses. The reason for that is that's how your body was pre-made for you, to be able to communicate from your own self, because your own consciousness has all of those senses as well. So what you do is, once you get down into the state where there's nothing going on, I want you to pick one sense to initialize first. You've got 5 of them, so remember, one at a time. Every other day, you should pick a new sense when you go down. This is a road that's going to be real slow. You're going to take it one step at a time. So the first time you do it, and this is the one I usually pick, is hearing. I let my hearing evolve to my consciousness. I let those two connections, my consciousness hearing and my physical hearing, snap too. In other words, I start listening to what my consciousness is hearing, and all of it. You will hear things. It might take a few minutes, but you'll start to hear things. You might hear music. You might hear somebody talking. You might hear the wind. There's all kinds of things you can hear. That's the first one. The second one should be smell. Okay? Hearing and then smell. Every other day you do a new sense. You're going to work at this for 30 to 45 minutes each session until you got it. Okay? So the sense of smell. What is your consciousness? What aroma is it? A lot of people who are psychic, and a lot of mediums will tell you, they can identify somebody from the other side by their incoming smell to them. It's like a door that's opening, and they're whiffing. Their consciousness goes, oh yeah, they're coming. I can smell them. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that connection to smell. The third one is taste. What you smell, you can also taste. So if you start to smell something in your consciousness that smells like peanut butter, you'll taste it as well. And you just enjoy the experience of what that is. Now, for everybody, it's a little bit different. I like peanut butter. Sometimes I smell peanut butter right away when I go to the other side psychically, or have incoming stuff. If I smell violets, I'll taste violets. I know what they taste like. You can eat them. It's just taste. So smell, hearing, smell, and then taste. The fourth one is touch. Okay. And touch is, your whole body can feel things when you're touched, but your consciousness can too. And what you want to develop with that is, what does your consciousness feel outside of itself? Is it windy? Do they feel vibrations? Do they feel harmony or music vibrating through them? Does it hear people singing? You have to really give it a chance to feel what your consciousness is feeling. Okay. Okay. Now, the fifth one, the fifth sense is really, 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 really fun to explore. And it's the one that you have to pay the most attention to. So you've got hearing, you've got smell, you've got taste, you've got touch. And then what's the fifth one, Preston?
Sight.
Sight. That's right. That's the one that you're going to open your third eye. That's what that means, to open your psychic eye, your third eye. And that is once you've got all the other senses working and rolling around for you, and you should take a few days to do the first four over and over and over again until you combine all of them and feel them all at once. And then you open your eye. You open your consciousness, to your physical mind, so you can see. Don't open your eyes when you do it. You keep them shut. But you open your third eye to see what's going on. Write all of this down. Everything that happens to you while you're doing this, write it down. I want you to understand that a lot of people have been led to believe that there are dangers doing this. No, there are not. There is no evil that can touch you when you're in this state, because your consciousness self-defends, it self-deflects. It is perfectly powerful and capable enough to keep you in no harm at all. Your consciousness cannot be beaten, broken, or damaged. You are who you are, and you allow your consciousness to be the superior of you. Okay, because this body is only acting what this is telling it to do. If anything comes around it that shouldn't be there, your consciousness is already able to tell it, get away. Okay, think about that.
Okay, now I want to expand on what Dolly is saying, because, okay, you're physically relaxed now. And there are, various techniques. One I read about is just pretending that there's an eraser and erase your body. I thought that's ridiculous. This won't work. No sooner did I imagine that and erased my feet when I popped right out of my body. It was a really interesting and good technique. Another is pretending that your muscles are little guys and you walk them all out of your body. And that works too. These are little techniques. But we do have this constant mental chatter. And that is very difficult to step back from. And what Dolly's talking about is if you have procrastinated something, that's going to take up a bit of your consciousness. If you're angry at somebody, that's taking up some of your consciousness too. All these things, you'll start to, if you look at your thoughts, you will see that there's multiple levels. You have this sort of conscious level thought. All the songs that you heard that day are still playing in your head. It just goes deeper and deeper, and you start to step back and look at it. And this is when you can start using these senses. And for me, using sound is awesome because I experimented with that. And what I would do is try to hear a song. And you can actually hear it. A really good way for a beginner is to imagine someone saying your name, someone you know well, because you know their voice. And you get to the point where you can actually hear these things very well. You can do mantras, you can do all kinds of things. You can play with this, but it's a really good technique. And yeah, you can smell, you can taste, you can feel. This is how mediums often work. When they're awake, they start to smell a spirit, because they've activated these inner senses. So you absolutely can do this. This is who we are. This is nothing supernatural. This is how we're supposed to be. And sight is absolutely crucial to this. And visualizing is a big deal when it comes to psychic development. That includes sounds as well. It's not visualizing a sound, but you imagine the sound. It's the same sort of thing. But look at all the colors. If you want to visualize a color, think of the deep blue sea. Think of a red apple or a strawberry. Think of an orange. Think of anything that brings that color, a red rose. And you work through all these colors, and this will make it easier for you. And then you get to that point where, and this is so interesting to do, you imagine light, not white, light itself. The first few times I did that successfully, I swore that someone had walked into my room and turned on the lights. And I opened my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, the room is dark. And I started to get to the point where I could see the room around me. So you can start to feel it as well. And it's funny because I thought maybe I've got thin eyelids because I swear I'm seeing my room. So I tested that. No, this is something we can all do. And I just want to talk briefly again about dangers as well, because Dolly is absolutely correct. Please remember you're already doing this. please remember that you go out of body every night and you're just fine. You are going to the other side. And when you're out of your body, you're fully conscious, by the way. But when you come back, it's like switching a channel almost. And it's very easy to not remember it. So you want to work on remembering your dreams. But I scoured the literature looking for dangers. And I tell you, there are none. It can be scary. You can find yourself way far out and you're like, oh my gosh. You might see a spirit that is kind of hostile. You can easily go back into your body. It's no danger of possession. It's ludicrous. There's no danger of getting lost. You've got a silver cord that will pull you back. It's very hard to stay out, actually. That's the real challenge here, because any emotional upset, any even thinking about your body will draw you right back in. You're not going to go too far out. You're not going to get lost. You're not going to get possessed. And in fact, if you're doing this, more than likely, you're going to have what we would call a spirit guide, or really it's just a friend who's out of body, on the other side, or a family member who will watch over you. They're very much rooting for you. So absolutely, you can lay to rest any of these so-called dangers. The best way I can explain this is it's as safe as sleeping, and you're already doing it.
Okay.
All right, Dolly.
I want to walk it back to consciousness. All right. Okay. What you're talking about is mostly for OBE. I want conscious psychic ability training to go first. Okay. That's where I'm at right now. What I'm teaching. Conscious psychic ability means that you open your mind, your physical mind, and let your consciousness speak to you 100% of the time. It is you talking. You will only hear yourself, but you won't have any thoughts of what your physical body or your physical mind wants you to worry about or think about or do anything. You're like Buddha said, put it in your hand, close it, drop it. Do not allow your mind to be overburdened with what you're thinking at all, because you want to be totally 100% connected to your consciousness. Your consciousness doesn't worry about what you ate yesterday. Your consciousness does not worry about who's going to bother you tomorrow or whether you did the laundry or not. That's not who you really are. Your higher consciousness thinks for itself, just like you do, only it's showing you who you are. It's you, and you need to learn to hear yourself that way. You need to hear what you're being told by your consciousness. We're not always in communication with it. I've watched people all over the world, and they are totally clueless until they have a moment of intuition or, of something, and they'll have a dream or whatever. I'm not asking you to dream. I'm not asking you or telling you should dream. You should be totally 100% conscious of what you're experiencing while you do these exercises. You will eventually understand that the voice you hear is you talking to yourself. People, they say, oh, it's bad to talk to yourself. Wrong. Not true. I see people go, oh, this person's talking to themselves. There's something wrong with them. No. Because consciousness will speak through you, and it'll exit your voice because it's trying to command you to listen to yourself. When it happens, people do it all the time. Let that happen if it does. Your consciousness is control of you. Do not allow your physical mind to run your life and tell you all this stuff and keep you trapped inside of not.
Yeah, that's your internal chatter that's going on constantly.
That's
so
right.
If you can step back from that. I'll give you an example. I was watching TV once, and it was the Long Island Medium.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Teresa Caputo, I love her. Yeah. And I'm just watching the show, and I heard that little voice, and it said, this next reading has a message for you. I'm thinking, did I hear that? Okay, because it was clear enough, loud enough that, I heard it. And sure enough, the next reading, the lady was getting read by Teresa, and Teresa said, does the month October mean anything to you? And I'm getting the date 13th of October. I started crying because that's the day my mother died. So that was spirit, if you will, or my consciousness talking to me.
That's right.
Giving me that message to let me know, you know what? My mom is around. Right, Dolly?
Yes. Our thoughts are our own, and your consciousness is part of who you are, and it is your thoughts. And we hear it all the time. I can be having a conversation. I'll give you for instance, I can be talking to somebody and having a conversation with them, and suddenly it'll come into my head to ask them this, like the question's already formed, I've already thought it, and I just blurted out what this is, what is going on with this. And they'll look at me shocked, like, where did that come from? And it's because my consciousness is telling me that you need to hear something, and I've just said what that is. That's your consciousness working through your physical mind to communicate with someone. Communicate. Psychic ability is communication. That's the number one thing that you all have to understand, that is that you are communicating with not only yourself, but everybody else in the world. We're all connected. We all hear each other thinking. And what you're going to be doing is linking up to your consciousness, so the volume turns all the way up on the frequency that you should be hearing. Okay? That's how that works.
It's crucial to listen to what's going on in your head.
Right.
People are going around and they're almost robotic in their behavior. You can ask little kids, like, why did you do that? I don't know. Well, adults are almost the same way. A lot of them aren't even aware of what's motivating their own behavior. So pay very close attention to every thought that's in your head. Or if you behave in a way that surprises you, track it down. There's a reason for this. Right. Look at what you're thinking at all times and be very careful about your belief systems, because they can overlay reality, and you start to get mired in delusion of your belief system. So
that's why you let go of the physical mind and what it thinks, and allow your consciousness to come through. It doesn't matter what your religion is. Your consciousness already knows what it knows. And if you allow your physical mind to shut that up, your phobias, your religion, your fear, your hate, your avarice, your ego, all of that can shut down consciousness from getting through to you, so that you can physically hear it at the same time that you're thinking it. This is a physical mind. I wish I had a way to look. Okay, here's my mouse. This is me. I'm in my physical body. Here's my glasses. They are my consciousness, okay? I am in communication. There's a psychic connection between the two. Now, if this is busy going all day long and blah, 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 this is not communicating with it anymore, because the signal is cut. Okay? What you want to achieve is to allow that signal to come through. What happens is that this starts to hear the real you and pay attention to it. It's going to say, and you integrate. Integration is a big deal. A lot of people talk about split personalities and stuff like that, and they want to integrate the personalities. Well, what you're doing is you're integrating your mind with your consciousness. You're allowing the two to become one. And that's so important. Once you get really good at this, I want you to understand that you can do this without having to relax your body. But I want you to spend a good 5 to 6 months working on this every day until you feel comfortable with doing it consciously while you're walking around. You walk through your life. You're in your living room and your kid walks in, or your friend walks in, or your husband, or partner, or whoever, and they're talking to you, and suddenly you know exactly what's going on with them. You feel it, because you can hear your consciousness agreeing with your physical mind that, oh yeah, look at that, and know that you're making a valid evaluation of what you're psychically receiving. And that's a key point. You need to evaluate, or make a valid evaluation of everything that's coming in at you. Like Preston said, I'm putting it a little bit different, but it's the same thing. That's why you write down. That's why you journal. That's why you learn to ask people, how you doing? And let them tell you and evaluate whether they're coming through to you or their consciousness is telling you another story. You'll be able to hear it. These are the things that you start to get good at, and you go through life like that, and you slow down, you get less aggressive, you get less frustrated, you get less everything, unless somebody comes at you and they're crazy, and then your brain's immediately, your consciousness are going to tell you no, and you'll back off of them. You'll get warned.
There are techniques that you can do to sort of advance. Meditation, of course, is crucial and helps in so many different ways, and there's no right or wrong way. Whatever you're comfortable with, meditating is just a process of physically and mentally relaxing. But here's the thing. We are so caught up in life. We're so caught up in the physical world. We are all on a pathway towards wisdom and truth and spiritual enlightenment. And we are given experiences. We chose to come here. So Why did you choose to come here? Think about this. People are living in fear. So what we need to start doing is stepping away from that, recognizing we are immortal, eternal beings. We need to face our fears. You absolutely cannot live in fear. It will paralyze your forward progress. If you have goals you need to achieve them, because this is also stealing your consciousness. If you have something you've been putting off and you wanted to do for a very long time, why aren't you doing it? Don't be self-defeating. There's this thing called, the 5 or the 7 deadly sins. It's a real thing because these are absolute stumbling blocks. If you find yourself consumed with anger or greed or laziness or gluttony or any of these, lust, all of them, these are things you need to work on. The astral body is also called the emotional body. And when you pop out, you will be confronted with these. You may think you have no anger issues or, food issues or what have you, but you probably do. I certainly did, and I thought I was doing pretty good. But these are things you can work on, and facing your fears and realizing your desires and working through all these negative emotions. If you can do that, you can conquer the self. You will find psychic development, astral projection, precognition, mediumship, all of this stuff much easier to do because it allows you to be centered and frees your consciousness from all of this. It allows the physical mind, as Dolly says, is the problem. You want to attach to that who you really are.
Okay, now I don't want this to seem like work here or stressful. So there are games that you can play while you're going through this process. 3 of them, as a matter of fact. One of them is colors, one of them is symbols, and the other one is numbers. You get a deck of cards. It has numbers on it, and it has 2 suits are red and 2 suits are black, right? So you get yourself a deck of cards. Make sure your notebook is by and your pencil's by. And while you're sitting there and doing nothing, or you have 15 or 20 minutes to goof off, or even do this with a friend, have your friend work you with it, and then you do your friend, you shuffle the deck, and then you flip cards one at a time, and it's either red or black suited, right? And you say it's going to be red. It's going to be black. Now, I'll tell you the fastest way to get through that and to realize that what you've been learning, what I'm teaching you how to go to, was you let go, consciously let go. You don't try to, too hard to figure it out. You just let the first thing that pops in your head, your consciousness will tell you what it is. And you go through and you count all 52 times and you do your averages and you find out what your score is. You will notice that over time, you will go from probably 25, 24%, most people, they'll go up to 90, 92, 93. And then further along down the road, there are a lot of psychics who are able to do 100% of the time. That's just the counting cards. The next one would be colors. Pick 7 colors. You've got the primary 3, and then you go to pink or white or black or brown, orange. Okay, those are the colors that you should be, they come in decks. You can get them on Amazon and just round circle with the color. And you shuffle it up, and there's probably 100 of those cards. And then you calculate. Now, understand that we're hitting our senses here, right? We're doing sight. We're doing things like that. Now, here's one for sound that you can play that you don't need a deck or whatever. You get a radio and you find your favorite station, okay? And you tune it to your favorite station that plays all your favorite songs, whatever you like. Do not turn it on and listen to it. Keep it off. And sit there for a few minutes and think, I wonder what's playing right now. And let your consciousness tell you, and then turn it on and verify whether that song is playing or not. That one's a little bit more difficult. Sound is harder, but you can do it. And you keep doing it over and over and over. This is a game you play for half an hour to 45 minutes. It's entertaining. Listen to your song when you hit it right. Listen to the song all the way through, because that's your reward for getting it right. Okay, you have to reward yourself every time. Do this. Okay, now there's one for symbols. Symbols act on a different part of our consciousness because they have meanings. Okay, you don't have to do a cross unless you want to do a cross, or an equal sign, or a minus sign, or a triangle, or whatever. Each one of those symbols has meaning to all of us. We see it, a symbol, and we associate it with something. Okay, so symbols can, when you're doing psychic and you're trying to figure out what that symbol is, sometimes people actually see Jesus on the cross. It's a cross. Sometimes people will see the circle and think of a pie. And if pie comes into your head, you know it's a circle. It's we all understand symbols differently. We're all raised differently, and we have different likes and dislikes. So remember that about doing symbols when you're trying to know what you're doing with it. Then play games with your family. Everybody write something down. After 5 minutes, you pick one person to sit in the middle of the room and think about one thing, like a dog or a cat or a horse. Pick an animal, or pick a place where you like to go for vacation and stuff like that, and have that person think about it for 5 or 10 minutes in the middle of the room. And then everybody else in the family write down what they think it is that they're thinking. That's another one. That's community psychic ability, that you're driving each other to get that going with one another. Then you have to pay attention as you walk through life. Okay. I'm in my house and my phone's going to ring, and I know it. I can hear it ringing in my head. I'm hearing the phone ring, and not 2 bloody seconds later, bling, 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 it's ringing. And I even know who's on the other end. That's a psychic. Your consciousness is telling you, this person's calling you. Write it down in your journal. Keep a journal of every time you nail it. We don't always calculate everything that we're doing psychically, but if you write it down, it's a passage. You can add it all up to yourself and see that you're doing better and better and better. One day you're going to wake up after about 6 months and walk through life, and you'll walk around people. Okay, this is the big one. This is when the more you develop your ability, the more you turn the volume up on what you're hearing, seeing, and doing psychically, you're going to start seeing things that are happening in front of you for real. Your observational abilities are going to increase a lot. When that happens, write it down. Start making journaling what it is that you see, hear, and feel, okay, while you're out. Sometimes people have absolute connection where their consciousness is saying, don't go down that street right now because something bad's going to happen there. Go this way. Okay.
I've had that. Yep.
A choice, right? Write it down. Remember it. Write it down. Put it on your phone. Say it into your memo thing. Whatever it takes to remember what that was.
Now, it's like working out. If someone wants to build a nice set of muscles, you have to do a lot of working out. If you want to learn an instrument or a language or a video game or a sport, it takes actual effort. And it's so cool because once you do get the confidence, you start it. That's kind of a reward for you. Like, oh gosh, I did it right. And then you start to have more trust in your own ability. So yeah, writing it down is a good way to do that and start to realize, you know what? I am psychic. I can do this. It's funny because I'll watch Dolly do it sometimes. Just the other day, yesterday, we were watching the award show and Dolly blurted out who was going to win. It's like, I heard him thinking it. And I'll do it in Jeopardy. I love watching Jeopardy. And sometimes I will get the answer to the question. I have no idea what the heck it is. And I'm like, oh my God, where did that come from? It's because you're listening.
You're listening to yourself. Your consciousness is happening.
And it's so much fun when that happens. I was at work once and I started singing Karen Carpenter. I love to sing. And suddenly it came on the radio and everyone looked at me like, how did you do that? And I'm like, I didn't mean to. I just heard the song, started singing it, and then it came on. And it's so cool when that happens. I absolutely love it. It's really so much fun.
Okay. So in a way, what I've just said to y'all is homework now. I want you all to take on the task of training yourselves to do these things. And I would love to hear back from you. I would love to hear it on the shows. If y'all want to say, oh, I did this or I did that, please do. It's good not only to have confirmation for yourself that you've done something, but to hear somebody give you accolades for it. When you have children and they're learning to do things, you applaud them. You say, yeah, you did it. You did it. And we're here for that. Okay. We're absolutely here for that. We'd love to hear about it. Okay. Anything you want to talk about with this while you're training yourself to do this is wonderful. We can even set up networks down the road. I'm hoping in a couple of months that we can have one show a month where we actually learn to, play the game online, where we've got the cards, or the symbols, whatever, Preston and I could be the master of the class and, try to transmit what we're looking at to you and have everybody say, did you get it or not?
We're going to do it in 5 minutes, just saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, because we are doing a book giveaway in 5 minutes here.
This is a way for you to figure out what that number is. So
I will
yeah,
be looking at it and doing my best to transmit. No guesses yet. We're almost there.
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, learning astral projection is a really good way to do this. Researchers learned long ago that there is a connection between psychic ability and what's called dissociation. And that is sort of a mind-body separation. And we see this with people who have near-death experiences. This is a profound dissociation, and they come back with all these major predictions. That's why dreams sometimes come true, because you're dissociated again. This is what mediums and channelers do when they go into a trance, psychic readers. And you can get good at it enough where you don't have to go, and you're closing your eyes and rolling your eyes back, because it's a natural human ability that we should already be accessing. But dissociation is a big part of how the mechanism behind it. And I read all the books on multiple personalities, which is profound dissociation. It's a dissociative disorder. And every single one of them is profoundly psychic. Every single one of them.
But you want to integrate all of those back into one consciousness. That's what I'm saying. It's not dreamlike. It is consciousness. You want your consciousness. You want to be awake and aware while you're doing this. If you depend on going to sleep to do it, or meditation is great, but conscious ability has to start in with you, and the connection has to be wide open. It's like I'm getting we're a telephone. Your consciousness is telephoning you every day, but you're not picking up. Okay, we want to make that connection and wake up so that you can hear it. That's what I mean by everybody wake up. I want you to hear yourself think for real. It's not your brain that I want you to hear. I want you to hear your consciousness. Okay.
Yeah, you need to learn to know who you are inside and out. This is in a weird way related to past life recall, because we are not just who we are this lifetime around. We have come and incarnated over and over again. And a really good way to sort of dip into psychic ability is to look at your possible past lives, because often people will remember them through the dream state, but you are remembering them consciously. And a real good way to figure that out is like, what am I naturally good at? What do I have a natural talent towards? What am I have a strong aversion to? What do I have any phobias? Phobias, research has shown that they're almost always related to some past life trauma. So you can see this in the clothes you like, in any, a wide variety of things, your tastes, you go to a location like, gosh, this looks familiar to me, and you know the way. So these are little points towards your past lives, and this is an avenue in to your psychic ability. Dreams is a really easy access to the paranormal. It's a perfect way to access your psychic ability. So dreams are not just the nonsense of the mind. This is every single dream you will see has a cue. It's what I call a cue. And this is where something does not match your life. For me, once I picked up a bicentennial penny. I'm like, well, that's weird. I didn't think they had bicentennial pennies. I guess they made them. This is a cue to wake you up, to make you lucid. Becoming lucid in the dream state is a first step, because then you start having dreams that come true. And that's what I call waking lucidity. That's when you start having active clairvoyance, active precognition. You are absolutely directly connecting to your consciousness, and you're able to see future events, particularly ones that affect you personally. So these are little avenues that you can travel to sort of develop your own psychic ability. Dreams is crucial. Write down every single dream you have. Dreams are sent from your higher self. 80% of them are your fears and desires. So once you start conquering those, you start to move on to true dreaming, what dreaming is supposed to be. You can reach a point where you don't actually dream, and you move beyond that to astral projection. You're no longer dreaming. You are fully conscious. You don't need to have those dreams to work through your fears and desires and suppressions and all of that. This is absolutely doable.
One of the things that I understand about dreams that I learned from ET, because when I was young, I dreamt a lot. at first. I would only sleep for 2 hours a night, and I was totally in REM sleep, dreaming everywhere. And they wanted me to understand what was happening. My consciousness was telling my physical brain to listen to it, and it was giving me visual images, concepts, all kinds of things for me to pay attention to in the dream state, because I wasn't aware 100% yet. And it was almost like I was being told something by somebody who didn't quite understand the language of what this, your consciousness is talking to you in a different language than you physically know. It's talking to you in psychic language. Okay. And we don't always, our physical mind, unless you're using it from birth, you don't always understand what it says. It looks like a concept, or things are missing, or you can't quite put it together. You're trying to learn what the heck it's trying to say to you. That's why you write your dreams down, because it's your consciousness trying to explain things to you, and your physical brain is trying to understand what that is. That's why you write them down, so you can pull out of it what makes sense, and then try to go back and think on it, meditate on it, and try to consciously connect to your conscious mind, consciousness. What is this? And it'll give you answers, and it'll actually give you directions on how to prove or disprove what this says and what it means. Okay. Our consciousness is not going to give you a load of BS. Okay. It's not going to tell you things that aren't true. It's absolutely going to tell you the truth about anything that has anything to do with you. Okay. So you have to work on it from that point of view. This isn't weird. This isn't wrong. This isn't a demon. I'm not being attacked. My consciousness is telling me something, and I need to pay attention to what that is. Okay. Once you leave the dream state and you achieve conscious connection, total conscious connection all the time, you'll stop dreaming. I don't dream anymore. I only go into out of body, like Preston says. It's the 100% contact with self, because you've given up the body, you're walking out of it, and you're doing things, but it's still communicating with you at the same time. You're lucid, as he said. And that's a really big one. That's a little bit further down the road for some people, but you'll get there. I promise you will.
I did it once or twice. I couldn't believe it. I went to bed and I thought I was awake. I wasn't. The body falls asleep. The mind never falls asleep. Right. The mind is always active. Brain researchers know this, because they've attached, what do they call those things?
Electrodes.
To your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're fully conscious on the other side, and that's what's so strange and really hard to puzzle out. You are out there having fully conscious out-of-body experiences right now.
Right.
So it's really just a matter of connecting, like Dolly says, your physical mind to your absolute consciousness.
Also remember this. Your consciousness is 100% knows every bloody thing you do every second of your existence. It is aware of you at all times while you're in the body. Okay. It knows what you did yesterday. It could give you a da-da-da-da-da. Some people who have eidetic memories are already hooking up to that. And it's weird.
It's connected to that. Absolutely. Yeah. That's another exercise. I'm glad you brought that up. Do you remember what you had for breakfast yesterday and the day before? Start working on that, because you should always be asking yourself 3 questions. Where am I? Who am I with? What am I doing? Ask yourself that constantly. You need to constantly orient yourself, because when you go out of body, you lose track of that. And the best thing you can do when you wake up is don't move at all. Ask yourself, who was I with? Where was I? What was I doing? And it'll all come rushing back to you. It's the coolest thing. It's a really good exercise.
Yeah. And if you do remember the night, don't let it leave you. Relive it. Spend 10 minutes and just relive the whole thing. Look at it, hear it, see it, feel it, taste it, all of it. You just relive it all at once. Okay. And it grounds it into your physical mind, and it leaves it there. You gotta do that or you'll lose it. Yeah. Your physical mind won't retain it if you don't put it there where it belongs. That's what he's saying, you know?
So Dolly, I'm going to do the book giveaway now. So while I do that, maybe you could talk about remote viewing and the connection to astral projection and lucid dreaming and all of that. But at any rate, we're doing a book giveaway. I'm giving away my book, Out of Body Exploring, starting now. No numbers will be accepted until now. One lucky guess, or not lucky, psychic guess.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 1,000. I know that's a lot. I'm sorry, but this gives people a good chance. One guess only. We're giving away 3 books. Guess the number between 1 and 1,000, psychically pinned down. Don't guess. Use your
think the
psychic
number
ability.
up in your head.
Okay, and I'm looking at the number now. So I will be sending it to you for the next 5 minutes, and probably throughout the show. We'll announce the winners the last 5 minutes. Live viewers only. Sorry, guys who are watching the replay. One guess only. And yeah, try to hone in into what I'm thinking now. All right,
Okay.
go, Dolly. I'm going to be busy here.
Remote viewing. That is your consciousness's ability to move through any space, any time, any dimension, and see anything it wants to see. And I'll tell you how that works. You're already in source. You're already there. You're physically here, but your consciousness is in contact. You know how you have a cord, a silver cord that attaches your body, your soul to your body, and it doesn't let go until after you pass away. You know, it cuts the cord and you go back. Well, that tether is the light that you go through when you leave your body to go back to source. You're constantly in source, and you hear everything and you see everything in source. But the cool thing about this is that you can take your consciousness without leaving your body and go through to source to see anywhere or anything you want to see. In source, we are capable of traveling the universe. We're capable of going to interdimensional spaces. We're capable of seeing or hearing or having a conversation with, you know, what you consider God, the All Mind. It's very chatty. It'll tell you anything. So remote viewing is your ability to take your consciousness and walk through that connection to source, and with a destination in mind. Okay. That's why they call it targeting when you remote view, because you have to have a destination to do it. Otherwise, you just go anywhere you know, blah, 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 and you, what am I seeing? You know, so you're going to target something through source with your consciousness. You're going to go into consciousness in source and target where you want to be and what you want to see. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is this. And you can do this yourself. Pick a place that you know that you see every day or can go to within 5 minutes. Any place, write it down what it's going to be. Your target is going to be this, and you write down what the target is. And you're going to go and view it in remote view for 15 to 20 minutes and write down everything you see there. Draw a picture if you have to, but make sure that you pull it up and you're actually pulling in that information consciously, okay? Once you get it all written down in your little picture and everything, you get up and you go to where that is and take your little notes with you and see if you actually saw what is really there. This is what I mean by being a good observer, because psychic ability makes you the best observer on the planet. Literally, I see everything all at once, everywhere, all the time. If I'm in a room, I see everything in the room as it is. I memorize it instantly. I know what it is, because my consciousness is paying attention to it. And that's what you're going to do, is you're going to have your consciousness go somewhere, pay attention to what that is, what your target is, and then you come back, write it all down as you've done it, and then go verify whether you did it or not. If you want to use somebody else, you know, and they live, you know, in another state or whatever, you get them to set something up or a place that they can go to and look at before you begin. So they're either in their home looking at it, you know, showing you what it is, or they're there showing you what it is. Great thing about cell phones is they can videotape everything they do, everything. They can videotape an area like a, you know, play park or a street, you know, blah, 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 what's going on, okay? And then you, while they're visualizing that target for you, you go there, you remote to it, and you look at it, and then you write down what you think it is, or draw the picture or whatever, however you're comfortable with this, and then you tell them what it was by telephone, okay? Then they will send you the video or the picture they took so that you can verify for yourself whether you nailed it or not. If you did, they're going to get real excited. So, but that's a really fun way to do remote viewing. A lot of remote viewers pick unattainable targets that they cannot verify or prove. I'll give you a for instance. Every time I hear somebody say I remote viewed the moon, I want to slap them, because there's no way for you to prove what you saw or didn't see. You can't verify your ability doing that at all. You can't even get good at it doing that all because there's still that, I don't know, back there. Don't remote view things that you can't verify ever, ever. Now, if you've got a NASA scientist and he's got a telescope on the moon and he's looking dead at something, and he says, okay, you go remote view that and tell us what that is. That's a verifiable thing because they can show you the pictures and they can say, oh, you did that. There is no NASA scientist anywhere or anybody who's got an absolute view of any part of the moon 24/7 without a satellite circling the moon, and we don't have that right now. We have them circling the Earth, and we have stuff out in space, and Hubble can look at the moon sometimes if be directed to it, but there's no way to verify that stuff. So don't pick stupid stuff. Don't pick, unverifiable things unless you got a friend who lives in France and can stand at the Eiffel Tower and say, all right, I'm going to remote view the Eiffel Tower. Don't do it because you can't verify what it is. You have to have somebody who can absolutely show you by phone, video, or picture that you nailed it or you do it for yourself. That's how you remote view. It takes a while. You can get good at it. And I want you to understand how remote view works. It is your eyesight and your consciousness eyesight locking in together to see something. Okay. And it's looking at it. Now, sometimes when you first start remote viewing, you will only see an outline or colors. It takes a while to get that vision, psychic vision, to coalesce into what it is you're really looking at. Don't get frustrated. It'll happen. Just relax and let it happen. Just let it happen. See what's actually there. You allow it to come to you. You don't reach for it mentally. You let it come to you. That's the whole part of remote viewing that everybody forgets. If I've got a target and I'm going to look at the playground, that's near here, okay, and I close my eyes and I start to see, I let the playground come to me. I'm in consciousness. I'm in source consciousness with my consciousness, and I'm letting that playground show itself to me. I'm not trying to see it myself. I'm not trying to physically go there. My consciousness is already in source. It can see anything, hear anything, and do anything. So you just let the picture come to you. You let your consciousness in source go, oh yeah, there it is. And it will come to you and you will see it. And it will sometimes start far away from you and then come up to your view, and it'll fill itself in until you have the total picture. That can take 10 minutes, can take 20 minutes, and for some people, 30 minutes. Okay. But let it happen. Just relax and let it happen. And then write down what it is and then verify it that you did it. That's remote viewing. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And
okay.
I found remote viewing somewhat frustrating because I felt like I was guessing. So don't worry about that so much. Just let the images come naturally to you. Have fun with it. All right, we did it with my family, Christy, the artist for my books, Marco, her husband, and their children. It was all kinds of fun. And it was amazing to watch us get hits. It's funny because we just wrote down the location envelope and sealed it, handed it to the person. There's different ways you can do it. And I held the envelope. I'm like, I'm not getting anything. I'm just getting like stark desert landscape, completely dead. And it was the moon, it turned out, which again, you can't verify that, I know, but
that was a picture. Those kind of targets are pictures that somebody puts in an envelope and they number the outside of it. So all you're seeing is the number of the envelope, knowing that there's something in it. Okay,
right.
With that. Okay, the government started that, and it's very confusing to people. It drives me crazy. If you're going to send somebody a target in an envelope, make sure it's a picture of what you want them to see. Okay, then when you open it, you either verify the picture or you deny the picture. That's how that works. That's why I say it's better to have live action with this at first, to be able to go or look at it or have somebody verify it with you, because that's more in concert with everything that's going on around with you, because you're using source to see things. In other words, you don't need this person to verify it, but it helps to have them verify it. But you're going through source to get to what that target is and see it for what it really is. Psychic sight comes to you. You don't travel. Out of body, yes, you travel and you're psychically looking at everything, okay? But remote viewing is different because it's your consciousness that's calling up through your connection and source a target to look at, okay? A little bit different, but your consciousness is already in source. And one of the great things about that is this is one of the most important connections you can develop in psychic ability. It is one in which that which is the all mind, God, hears and sees and knows everything that all of us are doing all the time, all at once, and it's in source with us. We're part of source. And that's a developmental connection that you want, because there are days where I have questions about things, real serious ones, and if I can't figure them out for myself, and I'll get frustrated about it, I will ask source. I will go into source and ask the all mind, I would really like the answer to this. Show me how to get to it. Help me out with this. I'm very specific about what I want from it. It happens. I get the download and I have to piece it together myself and look up all my little, where are you going with this? And sometimes I actually hear something tell me outright what it is, things like that. But that's connecting to source. That's what remote viewing is you're connecting in source to go and look at things and see things as they really are, period. Okay? All right.
Yeah. I think one of the best clairvoyant type experiences I ever had was once I was going to the bank, and it was weird because I'm driving there and it's a few blocks away. I started to get this image in my head, which was so weird and bizarre. I just kind of pushed it out thinking, what am I thinking about? I saw a man with wearing a leather vest and pants, no shirt, and kind of, a biker dude. Really long hair, and he was whipping it around. Such a weird image. I'm like, I don't know where the heck that's coming from. And it kept getting stronger and stronger to like, God, I'm trying to drive here. Come around the corner and I go to the bank, and I'm going to go through the drive-through, the ready teller there. There's the guy. He's standing there right next to it, and he's whipping his hair around. Looked exactly like this vision I had. And that was because, that was at a time where I was really meditating daily and working really hard on quieting.
Yeah, your brain was already there. You remote viewed him before you even got there. You saw him before you got there.
And it's cool because, that was uncalled. I did not summon that intentionally. But I started to work on, like, maybe I can do this intentionally. I was going up to my family's dinner. I'm like, you know what? I bet someone cut their finger. I think we're having brownies for dessert. I remember this because I was right. I went up there and I'm like, oh, I smell brownies. And I'm looking around and someone had cut their finger. There was like 8 or 9 of us. I have a big family. So coincidence, maybe. I don't think so. Because this was, I quieted my mind and I remote viewed there. And I was right. And it's so cool when that happens. Because, you're not always going to get great hits. But if you practice at this, you can get better and better at it. All right, I'm going to give one more announcement about the book giveaway. I've gotten all of your guesses. One guess only, folks. I will take your first guess, and the others do not count. This ends in just a bit here, probably in about 20 minutes or so. One number between 1 and 1,000. I'm looking at it right now. Looks like we already have some real close folks here. I'm not, maybe even on the number itself, I'm not going to say. But yeah, one guess only and 3 winners. All right. We do have some questions, Dolly, if you want to start going to questions.
Sure.
Because, yeah, this is fun. I can't wait to announce the winner. I am just absolutely amused by it. You'll see why. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys are so kind today with your, not only your comments, but giving and your generosity.
Thank you.
All right. Jiminy Snicket, good question. Is your consciousness the same as your higher self?
Yes, one and the same.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Higher self is a term that's kind of thrown around loosely. That's who you are. That's absolutely, you are your consciousness. You are your higher self. And it's funny because we talk about going out of body. In a way, you're not really leaving anything because your astral body is part of your physical body. It's part of all of you, all the way up to source. So in a way, it's kind of a misconception to think it feels like it. And in a way you are in terms of the third dimension, but you are source. You are a part of this universe. Your higher self is you. I think if that makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Another great question here from Evan B479. How do we keep from falling asleep? Any tips?
Give yourself an evac word. In other words, a rescue word to bring you back up into lucidity. If you start to fall asleep, pre-program your brain to not allow it to happen until you're really ready to go. So you say, I will not fall asleep. And if I start to fall asleep, I will take a really deep breath like that. Okay, that'll bring you up to lucidity. It won't wake you totally up, but it'll keep you in doing what you're doing. I usually think the big breath is the best way to go with that, because if you touch yourself, you might as well stop. You're done. But breathing in a deep breath, that'll bring you back into lucidity. So you pre-program yourself. I will breathe in deeply if I start to fall asleep. That'll bring you back to lucidity. Okay.
Yeah, and there are other things you can do. One, I read someone, you have to be facing north to have out-of-body experiences. Ridiculous. I've done it sitting up. I've done it lying down. I've been on my stomach, on my side, in a chair. The position doesn't matter so much, but there are things you can do that will help. If you're falling asleep when you're trying to relax, how do you sleep? Do you sleep on your side? Do you sleep on your stomach? Do you sleep on your back? Try a different position. I have a hard time falling asleep on my back, so often I'll do my relaxation that way. I have a hard time falling asleep if I'm not in my bed. So I'll go into an easy chair and do it there.
Okay, I have a point to make. Don't do it before you're going to bed. When you wake up in the morning, do it in the morning. You've already had a good
most of them, yeah.
You've already had a good night's sleep. You're not going to really want to sleep in the morning. Trust me. Or pick in the afternoon. Whatever's the farthest away from sleep time where you're still really energized, do it then. Okay.
Yeah. Wake up in the middle of the night, walk around for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, do an activity, go back. That works really well. That's called waking induction of lucid dreaming. But lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences are pretty much the same thing. The only difference is when you're lucid dreaming, you're hallucinating. You are projecting your own thoughts onto the environment around you, but you're actually out of body. So it's kind of a minor form of this. And if you're in a lucid dream, just shout out, all illusion end. And that works.
That's a way to wake up. That's right, in the middle of it. Yep.
So another really good way is to just set the intention. Like tonight, I want to go out of body. Tonight, I'm going to see my higher self. Tonight, I'm going to have a past life experience. Setting the intention can do this for you. Try sleeping with your head at the foot of the bed. You'll sleep a little bit more lightly. You can try going to bed without a drink of water, so you're a little bit thirsty, or drink a little bit too much water, so you have to get up and go to the bathroom and you're not sleeping as well. These are the little techniques that you can experiment with because different things work for each person. You might try playing a little bit of light classical music, not rock music. That's probably not what I would recommend.
No binary beats either.
No, I don't.
Take you back into your brain so fast you'll be swimming around in your own head. I want you to know that when you're psychic and you're awake, your consciousness, you're consciously aware of your consciousness all the time. That makes OBEing really easy. The reason that I can OBE anywhere at any time of the day now is because I'm already there. I'm already able to just walk out. I actually had a weird day where I wanted to do it while I was wide awake. I was in front of a mirror and I actually looked back at myself, and then I looked at the mirror and went, oh, look at that. And my whole body did something really weird when I did it. It didn't fall down or anything. It stayed stasis, but my face did this. It went, okay. And I was like, oh, look, my eyes rolled up into my head. And then it jerked me and I jumped back in and I went, oh my God, I just did that wide awake, standing up in front of a mirror. So you can do this stuff. You have to get good at it, but your consciousness is awake. You're awake 24/7 after that. You'll sleep less. No kidding. It will help you be very lucid when you OBE after that. Link up to your consciousness and OBE becomes a snap, literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a beginner doing astral projection, probably most of your early experiences are going to happen with you waking up already out of body. So this is an exercise that really works well. Ask yourself throughout the day, am I out of body right now? Could I be dreaming? Ask yourself right now. It's a ridiculous question, isn't it? Because we know when we're awake. We really do. Well, you think you do, but the truth is you do not, because you're out of body and everything around you is so perfectly vivid it never even occurs to you. So what you do is reality testing. There's a number of ways you can do this. A good one is to try to fly. Jump up and see if you float, or lift up an object like a pen and throw it up into the air. And suddenly it'll float and you'll think, oh my God, what's going on? And you realize you're suddenly out of body. Or objects are permeable in the astral plane. You can walk through walls. So what you want to do is try to push your finger through the wall or your desk. And you'll be at work one day, I'm bored, I look at the clock, it's not time to go home. And you try to push your finger through the desk, your hand goes right through. The desk fades away, the whole building fades away, and you're hovering over your bed. Happened to me. It's wild. It's like, oh my God, I was out of body. And so this is a really good method that you can use. Also, if you have a deceased loved one, absolutely, this is your bridge to the other side, because they want to meet you and you want to meet them. So concentrate on them when you go to bed. I want to meet my deceased loved one. Think about them, what they smell like, what they sound like, their face. Get that emotional connection. Ask to meet them. Have a dream about them, and boom, they will come. They might even grab your hand and pull you out of body. This has happened to me. It's not super common, but this is another little trick that you can use. Okay, we have quite a few questions in here. I'm going to try to get through these. Here is one from Louise. What if you just get ringing in the ears and then it's done? You need to relax. Keep relaxing, and don't give up. Persistence is the key to success in all things, by the way. This might not happen overnight. There can be a steep learning curve.
Louise, do you have tinnitus? If you do, that's what that is. You're just hearing your body. You have to learn how to get away from that. You have to shut it down. That's part of, you're not relaxing all the way out yet. If you hear ringing in your ears and then it's done, it's because you're still paying attention to your body. So do practice getting relaxed until there's nothing going on. Nothing. No sound, no sight, no smell, no nothing. Total dark chalkboard. Nothing. Be in that space for as long as you can and practice it until you get good at it. Because I got a funny feeling, because you probably do have tinnitus and ringing in your ears to begin with, and it gets really, 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 really loud when you shut everything down, and that's the last thing you hear. So try to get past that. Okay.
Yeah, I can. It's funny. I'll be trying to relax. In the beginning, I'd be relaxing, and suddenly I'd start to get an itch on my foot. Next thing you know, it's crawling up your leg, and then it's all over your darn body. I call it the itching phase. Don't worry about it. Just try to get through it. If you have to itch, go ahead, but try not to. It's funny because you go through all these stages when you're trying to quiet your mind. Suddenly I will hear a big brass band playing and everything's screaming, and I'm like, all these voices. I'm like, oh my God, my mind is going crazy here. A really good way to go out of body is visualizations and affirmations. Tell yourself, tonight I will go out of body. I am out of body. I go out of body now. Do not ask, set the intention. You want to wind up all these things together, your imagination, your desire, your attention, your intention, all of it. Really, really focus. And anything that visualizes movement works really well. You're physically relaxed, you're mentally relaxed. Now imagine you're on a swing set going back and forth. Suddenly you pop out. It's very cool. Or imagine you're just rolling out of bed and suddenly you feel this weird sliding sensation and poop, you're out. Anything that has movement. Imagine yourself on the bow of a ship, an elevator going up, running down a pathway. That works really well. I do remember one time I just laid down in bed and suddenly the vibration came over me, the vibratory state. It's when your body starts shaking and almost feels like an electric shock. I laid down, my eyes were still open. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going out. And that was the first time. This took me like 10 years into it. I lifted out while my eyes were still open. And I saw, it was so cool because the astral world and the physical world are very close, but they're separate. They're different things. It's a little bit glowy. and everything has its own inner luminescence.
Yeah, well, everything is light, and you actually see all the light. That's why, and the
Very cool.
bioelectric field that or the vibratory state is literally your own physical body's bioelectric field barrier, and you're crossing over it, and you have to go through it to get out. So don't freak out. You're not going to die. It's not a big deal. And if you get a little shocked, don't worry. The more you do it, the less you feel it. That's all.
Does tinnitus go away during an OBE?
Yes.
So does nearsightedness. So does pain. So does anything that's associated with your physical body.
Right.
Okay, that was a good question. Okay, Evan B. didn't really get to finish this question. How does belief systems, we were talking about belief systems. Your belief system overlays your perception of reality. So if you think, that demons are real, when you see something, your physical mind actually is trying to label every single thing you see so you can explain it. Don't bother with labels. Look at something for what it is. Do not pay attention to a belief system.
Become an observer, not a remember. Yeah. Become an observer, not a rememberer. Who you are, what you are, and all has already been put down. You have to let go of that and become an absolute observer of what reality is. That's what happens when you OBE. You have to see what's really there. All illusion, stop. Okay.
Yeah, we think we know a tree because, that's a tree. Well, stop calling it a tree and look at it. Really study it. It's an amazing miracle is what it is. Everything around you is a bleeding miracle. It really is. It's all of the world is absolutely unexplained. You can label it all you want, and you can study it and learn patterns and much knowledge. But ultimately, it's a miracle of the universe, its existence. So allow that to come through you.
Okay, I want to talk about this one, okay? Thank you for the donation, by the way. Very sweet, Bob Hunter. Okay. It's scary when your consciousness leaves your body. Okay, I want you to stop over. This is a belief system. You believe it's scary, okay? What you don't realize is that excitement happens when you leave your body and you go, whoa, okay? And it's a shock. It's shocking to do it, and it'll drag you right back in, all right? Any high emotions. Fright is a high emotion, will bring you back in. Stop telling your physical mind that it's scary. Stop telling your consciousness. Don't argue with your consciousness. Your consciousness doesn't think it's scary. You do. That's a belief system. Okay. Stop it. Lose the word. Correct. Self-correct that. If you say a bad thing's going to happen today, it probably will because you're looking for it. If you say today is going to be as it's going to be, and I'm going to observe and enjoy as much of it as I can, that's what's going to happen. That's what an intention is. And if you intend for something to be scary in your head, you are defeating yourself instantly, immediately, and you're not going to get any further than that.
Yeah.
Move off of it.
We talked about it earlier. Fear. Remember, Frank Herbert, fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration.
That's
he
right.
studied consciousness. Frank Herbert, a great book. Dune is all about consciousness.
Yeah.
Overcome fear. This is one of the obstacles. There are 4 main obstacles to learning astral projection. Fear is one of them. Oh, this sounds scary. Forget it. It's not. Fear is all in your mind. It's 100% in your mind. Replace it with knowledge. Love and knowledge trump fear every single time. Laziness is another obstacle.
Right.
Ignorance. Don't know how to do it. It's a matter of applied knowledge. And we've given you the knowledge. Apply it. Also, skepticism. I don't think I can do it. This is yogis and monks. Oh,
you're intending not to.
Psychic.
Right.
You
You're
can.
No, you can.
Yeah.
I want y'all to think about this. Everything you see, feel, hear, and do every day writes on your brain. And your brain is a habitualizer. It will remember everything negative you say before it will remember something positive. That's why we're built this way physically. One of the things that I can tell you is that if you're watching horror movies, if you're listening to horror stories, if you're playing games that teach you to kill, hate, avarice, whatever, you're pumping your brain full of negativity that is overriding everything you think and do. And your poor consciousness is sitting up here going, when is he going to stop? Or when is she going to stop? Get over it. Just stop.
you have to stop. Your physical body, your mind, those habits are not okay. Don't do them. It's not okay to eat bad food or drink bad things. It's not okay to think bad things either. Okay. And if you drive yourself to it and you get addicted to it, you're not going to succeed very easily at this. And I want you to understand that intention is everything. I intend to be okay today. I intend to be healthy today. I intend to be happy today. I intend to be carefree today. I intend to see love and beauty and joy. I intend this for myself. Your physical brain will remember those and start erasing out. That's how we heal ourselves, by getting rid of that which is destructive to us. And negative stuff is destructive. And the world powers that be want you to be a slave to it. And so they give it to you every which way they can to keep you in that mindset. Get rid of it. Stop. Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next question.
Good night, Heidi. Sweet dreams. Love you.
Hold on. I'm all over the place here.
Okay.
I'm still searching out the winning numbers. Okay, this is from 888 out there. So when I heard a voice saying, hear me, a high voice, and go home, a low voice, when I started meditating, was it my higher self? It startled me out of the meditation. Only you can answer that question. When you meditate, you open yourself up to other people's thoughts as well. So be very careful about what you're hearing, because sometimes you can pick up other people's thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Would you say? All right. Anything to add to that, Dolly?
No, you said it eloquently. You have to be careful where you are, what you're and what you're doing. That's why you isolate yourself when you're meditating. You turn off the TV. You get away from people. You don't let the dog in the room with you. You have to keep those signals out of your purview so that you have a clear signal to work with. Okay. You can learn how to dub out stuff or block stuff later. Right now, you're just trying to connect to your consciousness. And that's more important. Okay. People,
right.
I'll tell you something. I had a friend of mine call me up one day and she said, I have to talk to you. I'm very upset. I'm like, why? She said, because I just thought a terrible thought out of nowhere. It's not me. And I don't understand what the heck happened. She said, am I under spiritual attack? And I said, no, you probably walked by somebody who was thinking that and you got it full force. Boom. And she looked at me like, oh, I didn't think about that. It's like, yeah, whoever you're around, you're going to hear them. If you're using your psychic abilities, you're going to hear what stupid people think sometimes. And you need to understand that if it's not you and you know it's not you and you know what it is, let it go. Walk away. Give it peace. Peace out, baby. Go away. It's not you doing it. You're not telling yourself to do bad things. You're hearing some idiot telling themselves to do bad things. Don't let it bother you. Okay.
All right. This is from Plucky Vagabond. How long does it take me to project? It took me 4 weeks plus 3 weeks, so almost 2 months to learn how to do it. Generally, in the beginning, I would do it on weekends, and it took me maybe a half an hour to learn how to relax. A lot of them, again, began in the middle of the night. I'd just find myself out of body. Now, it doesn't take that long. I usually do it early in the morning. I wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm relaxed. I lay down and I let go. It takes me maybe 5 minutes, but it depends on what kind of state I'm in, I guess. But you can do it pretty much instantly once you get good at it.
Yeah, lucidly, that's the point, okay? Because Preston OBEs all night long. I know this because I'm awake 24/7 all the time, and I'll go in and check on him, and he's out and he's talking, but he does not remember because he's not lucid at it, right? Okay, he does do better in the morning. Y'all have to find your happy place with this, okay? Because you leave your bed the minute you go to sleep, your consciousness is going, bye, see you, woo woo, and they're out, and you're doing stuff, whether you remember it or not, it's totally up to you. And that's why connecting to consciousness and being lucid aware 24/7 is a really good help for this. But yeah, it's his habit to do that in the morning. He's really good at it. I'll be about 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll just be and all of a sudden there he is. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And it's because that's when he's lucid at it. Okay, absolutely lucid. So yeah.
All right. Poetic poems. So we're a collection of all our past lives. Yeah, I think that's a way of looking at it. Look at we think of we're so attached to our personality and our identity. But the fact is they're a bit of a coat that we wear. That's kind of a good way of or even a mask or just something we're trying out for now. But who you are, this took me a long time to unpack, and I still don't fully understand it because I want to be me when I go to the other side. I don't want to come back as be someone else, but that's okay. The Native Americans used to change their names every once in a while when they went through a big life event. That's kind of what it's like. You're still you throughout every single one of these lifetimes, but you're gaining experience. This is why some people come into life and they're already a piano virtuoso. This is why some people come into life and they're already really good at psychic abilities because they've been working on this for lifetimes. So yeah, you are the sum of all your lifetimes. All right. This is a good one, Dolly. Maybe you can answer this one. What is a good affirmation to connect consciousness to my conscious mind?
A good affirmation. A good affirmation would be, as I go into the silence, I will now see and hear that which is real and true. Okay? That's a good affirmation. As I go into the silence, I will now see and hear what is true. Because that's what you're doing. You're shutting your physical mind up long enough to see and hear what's really going on. Your consciousness will give you that information. So as I go into consciousness, I will see and hear what is absolutely true. Right? Right.
Okay. Here we go. I like this question. Can family and ancestral connections help develop psychic ability?
Yep.
There's some truth to that, I think, because we do see psychic abilities running in families. And the fact is we choose our families, and genetics do play a role here. This is one of the reasons ETs are so interested in genetics. Genetics is something that we bring through to each lifetime. It's not what people think it is. Dolly's talked a lot about this, and we're going to dive deeper in Symmetry too about this. But yeah, there's a genetic connection, actually. Anything else, Dolly, you want to add to that?
Yeah, you own your DNA. Your DNA goes with you. It is not just your body that carries DNA. It is the DNA of soul, the DNA of consciousness. Your DNA code is with you always. You might have a familial change that gives you structure to your physical body, but that DNA is still coded by your consciousness, by your soul, as you evolve into each life. It's an interesting way that works. It's genetics, super genetics, and the genetics of soul. And it is incredible. You can be born with the genetics to remember things because you were coded to remember them automatically, physically in this body. It got brought to me by ET, but my grandfather sent it home to me. And I'll tell you how that happened. One day we were talking and he said, do you know that I remember the Battle of the Bulge like I was there? I said, really? And I'm thinking, past life. He goes, no, not past life. It's in my genes. I know some ancestor, genetic ancestor of mine is alive in my memory and I remember seeing it through this genetic memory. And I was taken aback. I was like, that's interesting. So we're passing memories down to ourselves genetically, And then my ET teachers taught me to take it one step further than that it's your soul in charge of that DNA that caused that to happen. It's physically in your physical DNA, but there's a type of DNA that's coded that we don't know how to see yet or understand or see communicating to us. And it is the memory of all you've been through every family member all the way back to the beginning, because we're all related to one another. We're all connected to one another, universal wide, and we all have the ability to genetically tap into memories of each other as well, including our consciousness. Think about that for a while. Let's see what it does to you. So,
all right, we have 20 questions, 10 minutes. So let's whip through these. Carl Mids, Dolly, do you think animals have souls?
Yes, absolutely. All conscious sentient beings are souled. Yes.
100% I agree.
Yes.
What do you think of the term oversoul?
Okay, I'm going to give you absolutely something. This is something that
Okay.
humans have contrived to think about. It's a way to control how you think. If somebody says, I'm your oversoul, they become your master. No, they are not. And no, it is not a thing. Okay. That is verbiage that is paradoxed here into society by people who want to control you. Don't do it. Okay. We are not in control of one another. We are autonomous beings, and anybody who's trying to control you or tell you there's an oversoul, they are big liars. It's not true, or deluded, or insane. Okay, no such thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Question from Patsy. When I broke my leg, I was laying on the ground in pain. Oh, Patsy, screaming. Then it was like the real me realized the body it inhabits was broken. Then I screamed louder. Was that connection to source?
Okay, let me think about this. I want to hear what you're saying in my head. Just give me a second. When I broke my leg, I was laying there around in pain, screaming, and it like hit me really hard. Oh, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah, when we're inhabiting a body, and
Yeah,
it's a very difficult thing.
Your consciousness was trying to tell you that you effed up. Bad move. No, this is bad. And you've got some work to do to heal this up. Yeah, your consciousness can get a little peeved at you for breaking something you shouldn't have broke. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love this question. Thank you, AM8370. When OBE, can you instantly play a musical instrument even if you've never played one? I'm going to try. I have never tried that. I'm going to guess probably not, but you could. I don't know. I don't know. I know I can sing better. I can see better. Colors are brighter. I
Okay. I don't
try.
want you to get disturbed. Okay. Your physical body knows how to do what it's learned how to do. Your consciousness can do any bloody thing it feels like. So while you're OBE and you're on the other side, you can play an instrument you want. You can sing any song you want. You can do any math because you have all of that knowledge at your consciousness's disposal because you're in source where everything is known. But you cannot transfer that back to the body. That doesn't work that way. That's what you're asking. No. Okay.
All right. Preston, do you think ET will one day live among us terrestrials like a normal thing? I think some probably are. It's kind of a trick question because, in effect, we are all ET. We did not evolve here. We're very much connected to them. ETs like to tell contactees over and over again, you are us, we are you, we are one. So yeah, I think to some extent that's probably already going on. But again, a trick question. We still have a lot of growing up to do spiritually, psychically, ethically, morally, before we can have open official contact with ET at large. So that's kind of where I'm at with that question. All right, moving along. We're going to try and get through these real quickly. Do you see all the different realms like one famous OBE describes? I forgot his name. Yeah, you can go wherever the heck you want. I think sometimes you might have a real hard time going to the super high realms because some of this does take talent and practice to go real up into the higher dimensions, or even the lower ones.
Right. Your wisdom and your evolutionary ability can hold you back from going very, very far deep into source. Okay. If whatever level you're at in this life, karma is holding you there until you become wise enough to reach that level or go through to that level. You know, it's not like it's not like a path. It's just that whatever you're able to understand, you will, or you'll see, that kind of thing.
Wow, it looks like we're going to get through all the questions just about. Well, maybe not. All right. Well, here is a good one from Tattoo Maniac Selena. Do you notice any patterns or shared mechanisms between out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences, especially in how people describe leaving the body or what triggers the experience? Yes. The two are essentially the same. A near-death experience is an out-of-body experience. An out-of-body experience is not a near-death experience. There's a couple of differences. Near-death experiences are caused by trauma almost always. It could be extreme exhaustion or something along those lines, even a drug overdose, usually a car accident, a heart attack, something like that, a fall. And it follows a pretty set pattern, usually leaving the body, having a life review, going to the other side and being told you have stuff to do, maybe meeting deceased relatives or even, the light. And then you're sent back. An OBE doesn't have that structured set pattern of events. You're free to do whatever you want and go wherever you want. Most NDEers will start having OBEs, but there are absolute differences between them. Those are the main two. NDEs are structured and caused by trauma. OBEs can occur spontaneously, but can also be cultivated.
Intended, yes.
All right, I think we're just about through all the questions. I saw one here from Michael Kennedy. Could you take a moment, and that's about what we have, to talk more about testing your reality during the day, like trying to push through the wall or jumping, and maybe giving us some more examples of how to test your reality? Here's one. When you're in the dream state, like I mentioned earlier, there's always an anomaly. Something is different. Your driveway is facing the wrong way. There's a window in your house that isn't there. Your couch is the wrong color. Something. Do this during the day. Look around the room and like, gosh, is there anything about my room that looks off? Is there anything about anything? The sky, people around you, your clothes, anything that looks like it doesn't really belong there. Really pay close attention to your outer world and your inner world. You have to spend equal amount of time on both. But that's a really good way to test reality. Dolly, you got any other suggestions?
Yeah. You can literally say to yourself, if I am asleep, I will wake up now, and you will. That's the ultimate way to know. If I am OBE, ask yourself, I am going to go here now. And you you pre-plan a destination for you to go OBE, like I'm going to go to my mom's house, or I'm going to go see my friend, or whatever. And you say, demand it now. You say, if I am really OBE, I will go here now, and you will. So those are the two ways to confirm or deny it. If I am asleep, I will wake up now. If I am OBE, I will go here now. And however you're going to get there, you'll go. And it's a little bit of a shock when you do it. And you're OB at that point. It might drag you back into the body at first, but keep doing it and you'll get good at going somewhere when you're OB. In other words, you don't have to stay stasis in place when you're OB. You can do anything you want. And that's the proof that you're not in the body right now. And if you are in the body, just say, if I am not OBE, I will wake up now, because there's the difference between lucid reality and reality itself. And if it's your conscious mind doing it and not your consciousness out OBE, it'll smack you wide awake. Okay, that's how you do it.
Yeah. One last question. That's all we have time for, because we're now pushing our time limit. Wayward Warlock, follow up. OBE versus NDE. What if you are OBE, then the physical body dies? What would happen? Go on your merry way. I don't know of any case, but how would you verify that? There'd be no way. We're all going to have a permanent OBE anyway, so
yeah,
learning how to do this is a huge...
I've thought about this, by the way. This has been on my mind, because I OBE all the time, okay? And I know that someday I'm going to pass away, and it doesn't matter how I do it. I know it's coming, right? So if I'm OBE and my body starts to fail, I will tell you that because I asked for confirmation of this, from the universe, from source, what happens in that moment. And what happens is that your body drags you from OBE straight back into it, because your body is now in crisis. You cannot OBE while you're physically dying. You cannot. Okay. So if you're going to wreck your car, or if you're OBE and there's a tornado coming and your house is getting sliced up, you will not be OBE through that. You will hit your body back and then leave that way. There's no chance of you being OBE and dying at the same time, because your body will drag you back to go through the process. That's how that works. Okay.
They did a whole study of that, and people who fell from cliffs and high places, every single one of them slid out of their body before they actually smacked the ground.
Right. Your soul never dies, but your body does. and your body will tell you, oh yeah, here we go. It knows. So
All right, it's time to announce the winners. Drum roll. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum. The secret number was 291, and we have 3 winners.
yay!
Scott Wilkeson. Don't know how you did it. You won the last book on the Q&A, so you're pretty good at this. Amazing. So I have your address, I think, so I will send you a copy of this. Our next winner is Evan B479, the number 303. Yep, 12 numbers away. So very good guess. And our third winner is the Owl Man. Yay, 324.
Pretty
So that
cool.
was 33 away. The winning number was 291. And gosh, if your number is closer and I made a mistake, please do let me know. But I think because there's a lot of numbers there, I do my best. But yeah. Congratulations, Owlman, Evan B, and Scott Wilkeson. Very cool. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're going to do this again. That was loads of fun. Really appreciate you guys listening tonight. And wow, you guys are super generous today. Namaste.
Thank you.
Of course, and Heidi, you're out in the dream world, probably astral traveling right now. We love you. Aussie, amazing. Henry Jackson.
Thank
Bob
you.
Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Over and over. You just
Wow.
you
Thank
give.
you so much.
You are beyond kind and generous. Plucky Vagabond, love you very much.
Thank
I know
you.
this subject is dear to your heart. I love your comments. I can tell you're already pretty good at this. You should be teaching it too. Dot, Janie Mashburn, amazing.
Yeah.
Bob Hunter, how? Yeah. Amazing. Mr. Catfish, thank you so much. You guys have been so
Awesome.
wonderfully generous today. Joyce, who was our guest last week. We
Thank
love
you,
you,
boys.
Joyce.
Love you.
You're doing well. And what a fun show. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. I
Okay.
guess we have to say goodbye, Dolly. I don't want to do it.
I know. Thank you all for joining us on the Light Gate on this Monday night. We had a really good time with y'all, and we are looking forward to next Monday night. We are coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. We're on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and we're on YouTube. I want you all to enjoy your week. I'm praying for everybody. I'm sending you as much love and joy and peace and good vibes. Have fun doing this. Please enjoy learning this. It's a good thing. It'll help you more ways than you could possibly understand. We love you. Night, night, everybody.
Oh my gosh. Look at all these lovely comments.
I know.
I hate to leave them.